pressed it. It's going.
Oh, you
All
pressed
right.
the button.
Well, we're late, and it's nobody's fault.
It's your
Technical
fault.
issue, huh?
It's your fault. It's okay.
It was my fault.
Mm.
It was my fault. Technical issue. I don't. I mean, it was my. It was on my end. What it was, I don't know. Just like another thing, I have this. I'm delayed. I have a delay in my camera because there we go. Because I'm using this thing. Come on, man. I have this. I can use my phone for my camera,
Right.
which is great. The quality is much better, but the problem is, you're supposed to be able to either do it over the Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
or directly wired, like with a wire. You know,
Wi-Fi.
I have it connected with the stupid USB-C, but it won't recognize that. So it's doing it over Wi-Fi. So there's a delay, which is, I'm sure, very annoying to anybody watching, but nobody's watching. Anyway, welcome to this week's episode of Good Night, Everybody. I'm your host, as always, Christopher Lawrence. Is that me? Yeah. With me, most of the time, faithful sidekick, Stephen Garone, a.k.a. Catholic Comedy. Stephen, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience while I sorted through that audio issue. How are you?
You know that if a wedding begins at 5 p.m., the invitation was handmade by the bride, and the reception will be held in a cow pasture. A gentleman should wear sandals.
Is that right?
Apparently, according to this. So, a while ago, I have one. I have
Mr.
one of these.
Blackwell's fashion manners guide.
It's How to Be a Gentleman: A Timely Guide to Timeless Manners by Thomas Nelson. I got this.
It was a cow pasture.
Yeah, I'm just
so
saying.
There's poops.
Yeah, but you're supposed to wear sandals. I don't know why a wedding reception would be held in a cow pasture, but
that's what you got. Then that's what you got.
Anyway, this is a book that I started reading a while ago, and then someone who shall remain nameless broke my old
Was it me?
writing tablet.
Oh no, it wasn't me.
No, I know it wasn't you. But broke my own old writing tablet, so I didn't have the writing tablet to write with. Or to read with, because I put all my ebooks on there. I like the e-ink display, and so yeah.
This was not a tablet like Moses had. This is one of those new things the kids have.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's this thing. I don't want to, I don't want to try to give anyone any undue sponsorship or whatever, but it's really cool. This one has nice feedback. But this one is a color display, so I can write on it in color.
Oh, can I see that? Let me see that.
I mean,
let me see that happen.
Okay. I'll go back to where I highlighted something. See the yellow highlight.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, I know it's hard to kind of see it, but anyway, this was my early Father's Day gift from
your early father.
No, from my kids to me, because I've been wanting to get one of these, and I need it for work anyway. I've needed it for work to keep notes and stuff. I like it. This is the important, hard-hitting journalistic things that people.
Yes, this is very well. I'm interested because as someone who is still impressed by those black and white Kindles.
I have a Kindle upstairs. I have one upstairs, and that I have all my my Kindle books on that one.
Which you don't own.
Yeah, you have some of them I do own. Some of them I don't. Because
you have backdoored them. Doesn't sound right, but that's what they call it when you put a thing on there.
Yes, I have.
File goes illicitly.
Not illicitly. I purchased the EPUB files from people, and then so I I have a Kindle upstairs that I do some Kindle ones with, which I'm aware I don't actually own them. But this one is where I buy EPUBs and I put them on there. So in
That
here,
reminds me, Amazon at one point started, this is some years ago, they started a digital publishing platform.
I remember. I was on it.
But they called it Pubit. And then for some reason, it crashed and burned. I don't know why. Why didn't people want to play on Pubit?
I don't know. I have an idea. But I've got Winnie Ilay on here.
Huh?
Well, I was on their digital publishing platform.
Yeah, that was Pubit. You can look it up.
I don't remember it being called that.
Just
but
Google Pubit.
I won't. I just don't think that Googling that's going to go well for me.
Well, there's no other way to find out. Sorry, what were you saying? I interrupted you. Tell me what you were saying.
I'm just saying I have.
Is it Pubit related?
No, but I have. So I have Winnie Ilay Pooh on here, which is Winnie the Pooh translated.
Oh, you know what? I have that. It does a ghost again.
Yeah, it happens. We have ghosts here.
I have Winnie the Pooh. I have Winnie the Pooh in Latin.
Yeah, what's this? I bought a physical copy, and I gave it to my priest.
But you said that with a French accent. Is there a reason?
Winnie Ilay Pooh.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
We don't know what Latin sounded like because we're missing the
we know what
recordings.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what classical Latin sounded like. We have some
dead language they call it.
But ecclesiastical Latin, we do know what that sounds like.
I found out. This is true. They call it, I didn't know this. It's called a dead language because it was only spoken by the mummies. And it didn't have vowels.
Nope, neither of those things. Because it wasn't.
They had to approximate it in the mummy movies.
No, that was Egyptian. And actually that is true that Egyptian. Where you were saying Latin.
Yeah. All the Egyptians were speaking Latin.
No.
That's how Moses understood them. Because they all spoke Latin.
Nope.
And when Moses wrote the Bible, he wrote it in Latin.
No.
Because that's what he knew.
No.
But there were no vowels in the Bible. So the divinely inspired council inserted them. And people don't like that. But you want to read your Bible or not?
I actually have the Old Testament in...
Without the vowels in it? That would be the Old Testament.
I have the Old Testament in...
Or ye Old Testament.
Ye Olde Testamente.
Yeah.
You're going to put an extra E at the end.
I went to school with a kid named Vinny Testamente.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I went to school with a kid named Anthony Bates. And whenever he would enter, this is prep school. Whenever he would enter the dining hall, maybe I can't say this. Cover your ears.
Yeah, what I'm saying? I think we get the punchline.
Huh?
We get the punchline. I think we're good. We saw that punchline coming.
Anyway, tell me about. Well, it wasn't a joke. This really happened. The poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's
it was not like they make it out on Gossip Girl. It was more like School Ties. You ever see School Ties?
No.
Brendan Fraser plays a Jew on the School Ties, and their waspy Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are beating on him for being a Jew.
So
of course, in real life at the time, Brendan Fraser would just pick each of them up with one hand and throttle them. But now he's a big fat guy because he got big and fat for a role called The Whale. It's a movie about a fat pervert.
Yes, a movie about. It's hard to go from being big and fat to being like not big and fat anymore.
Well, usually the Hollywood guys do it all the time. They got the steroids, they got the trainers, they got the dietitians. But I think they must have stripped Fraser of all his, or he just liked being a big fat guy. But he looks awful now.
Yeah.
The two biggest declines, maybe, in modern male Hollywood star is probably Fraser, Brendan Fraser, who was at one point the stud muffin, played Tarzan, swinging on had the long locks, looking good. And Mickey Rourke. Good gravy. Have you seen Mickey Rourke?
No, I've not seen Mickey Rourke.
He looks. Look up MickeyRourke.com, and put a picture of like the Pope of Greenwich Village, Mickey Rourke, next to like now Mickey Rourke. It is jarring to say the least.
Yeah, there's an image here of the then
Show
and
it to
now.
the people at home. Make sure it's not one where you can see his pee-pee, because he did a movie called The Wrestler. And there's some listed, I've heard, things in there. Drug usage and nudity. And I won't stand for that on the show.
Oh, I got
do you have Mickey Rourke? There we go. Look at this. Now, it's not funny. It's terrible. But how does such a thing happen?
Just
no. I mean, come on. What on earth? Right? I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah,
that seems like impossible.
That's rough.
That is beyond rough. Now, supposedly, some of it is from boxing injuries. He was a boxer, but a lot of guys are boxers, and you know, come on.
Mike Tyson, he didn't look
he looks
much
the same.
Yeah, he didn't age.
Well, he's black. They say black don't crack. They say blacks do crack, but they don't. But the skin don't crack on a black. Something like that. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you this. Speaking of foreign languages, last night, late at night, I'm on the YouTube, which is where we are now. And you know how it goes on YouTube. You're going from one thing to the next, and you click on stuff, gets recommended. Sometimes it's completely out of your realm of normal watching. It's fine. Somehow I ended up on this video of like rap guys interviewing each other. Steven, they may as well have been speaking Swahili. Do you know the phrase, if a lion could speak, we would not understand him?
No, but it makes sense.
Okay, right. It's about, because his frames of reference would be so obscure and bizarre to us. Even if he spoke English perfectly well, we have no idea what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, these people were speaking English. I for $1 million, I could not tell you what on earth they were talking about at any point. It was like a foreign language. Have you ever seen any of these videos?
No, I have not, but I know that. So, like,
just watch like clips of like The Breakfast Club. It might as well be Chinese. I have a better chance of one. I grew up with a Chinese brother, not a Chinese brother, a Chinese brother. So I have a better chance of understanding Chinese than I did of understanding that. And this is supposedly English, American English.
Yeah, there are instances where it's like if English is your second language or you're using it for international travel.
But it's not. These are Americans. They're rappers. They make millions of dollars.
I would have to hear it to know.
De Maistre said, I'm going to paraphrase, but he said when a culture is like going to pot, the first thing that happens is the language is right in the dumpster. De Maistre.
Okay.
Maistre. You can look it up. But that's how you know a society is cooked, as the kids say. I think that's what they say. Is that the language starts to go, it degrades. And if anything in popular culture has been deleterious for the American lexicon, it's been rap music. And I don't care if it's a white guy making it, whoever it is. It's not good. Well, your buddy's a rapper. My brother-in-law, God bless him, does the rap. He's pasty like a sheet, huh?
Your brother-in-law does the rap.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what we got to talk about. Were you looking something up to show us, to share with us?
I was going to show what Mike Tyson looked like in the 80s versus today.
Well, he had hair. That was it.
No, he looked completely different.
No.
Let me show you.
Now, if you want to talk about Michael Jackson looking different.
No, Mike Tyson looked like completely different in the 80s. I got a picture right here.
60 years old. Good gravy. What do you want to do?
I'm just going to show you guys.
There's no guest this week, by the way. We have no guests for... Well, next week we will run. Stephen will not be here. We will
I will be here next week.
You will? No, my little note here says... Hold on.
And that's the week after next. But let me show you. This is what Mike Tyson looked like in the 80s.
No Steven. Come on, man.
Completely different now.
That's been edited.
He's 3D now. It's like a huge transformation.
But that's an edited image. They do that with the AI.
Whoa. Okay. Hold on. You're trying to tell me that is not the real Mike Tyson?
I didn't say that. I said it's been edited, obviously. The color's been enriched. Oversaturation, I think they call it.
I don't know. That looks...
And I don't think he's quite that big.
Look, Little Mac is little. That's where it comes down to. But Mike Tyson is that big.
It's in the name. It's on the tin, as they say.
Yeah.
Little Mac.
So
I like a Big Mac.
I am
like
here. I'm here next week. But then the week afterwards, I'll be in Vegas.
I said you'll be in Vegas?
Yeah, on the 5th, the June 5th. I'm out.
Are you having another convention? The one I'm not gonna go over it again. But is that what it is?
I'm going to what is called DevCon.
Mm-hmm.
So
stands for
conference.
It's for sexual deviant. Deviant.
Nope.
DevCon.
No, it's not DeviantCon. It's.
I'm not judging you. I'm just,
Anyway,
whatever you do.
I'm going to be. So I'm going to be that day. I'm going to be working for 24 hours.
Deviants and convicts. DevCon.
Why
do they put those together?
No, it's not. They didn't. This is not a thing.
Oh, it's like they're like separate wings of the meeting.
No, they're not.
The deviants are on one side. Because I imagine there's got to be a lot of overlap, right? There's a lot of convicts that are probably deviants.
That
deviants that are ex-cons. Huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm going there in a prison ministry. Is really what it comes down to. So
okay, but so all these deviants were in prison. So why the delineation between deviant and convict when they're all convicts?
Well, because I think in there what you're trying to do is you're trying to find.
Oh, there are like white collar criminals also who are not deviants.
No, well, yeah, there are other convicts that aren't deviant, and so we're trying to get like that Venn diagram of deviants and convicts or convicts. Deviants and convicts. Those are the ones you find a deviant.
Well, actually,
well, we won't comment.
There's been a couple bishops here,
In any case, now I will be in Vegas that week.
I guess if they're going to have a deviant convict meetup, that would be the place to have. They're already there anyway, most of the time. But there were convicts that escaped in Louisiana, not all that far from me.
Mm-hmm.
10 of them.
Louisiana?
Huh?
I don't even know where you live.
I'm in Texas.
Oh, Louisiana is close to Texas.
Yeah, and I'm in like the southeastern part, so I'm really close to it. We go to Mass in Louisiana. That's how close we are.
Oh, it's got to be nice.
So
do they do sales tax in Louisiana?
I don't know. The Mass is free. I mean, you can give them a donation.
Well, so sales tax. There's like Washington State.
You're not allowed to sell. I found out you're not allowed to sell the sacraments because I was going to start a sacrament selling business.
You are not allowed to sell the sacraments.
But you can't do that. Turns out, Pope said, whoever he is,
you also can't.
You can't do it. And if you do, he wants a piece. He wants a cut.
You can't sell the sacraments, and you can't sell something that is blessed.
The sacraments for our secular viewers are things like a confession, or becoming a priest, or marriage, real marriage. Not secular marriage, which makes no difference. Do whatever you want.
You are expected to give a donation to a priest, but he cannot charge you for a
just like there's a thing. There are websites where they will sell blessed and exorcised items. Exorcise means they do and then the demons go away. But they can sell. They offer these items for people that may not regularly have access to them, or to a priest that will impart these blessings upon them. But the loophole is you're just paying for like shipping or giving a donation. They're not charging you for the sacramental item.
Right. They can't charge you for the sacramental, but they can charge you for the box it ships in or the reliquary that they. So reliquary is where you would put.
Yeah, there are loopholes. Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is that so at that point the reliquary is going to be the same price no matter what blessed object is in it. So it could be a first class or third class relic, and still they wouldn't be able to charge you extra because it's third class relic or first class relic because it's. I want to know.
These things are able to slip through the cracks, from my understanding, because there are no Jews in heaven, so there's no one up there doing the books. So these things can get away with. They get away with them.
You're trying to get this episode knocked off the air.
Why?
I'm just saying you're saying stuff about stuff.
I wanted to talk about the gorilla. Now, I know we're a little late to this, but there's been a thing online about how many men could beat off a gorilla.
No,
I want to know, how many do you think?
So the idea is,
because I got in an argument one time about with my friend about, like, could he beat off a horse? And I said, no, horse is too big. But the gorilla, it's a primate, if you believe in that kind of thing. And they said 100 men could beat it off. But not if they took turns. They would have to all come at it at once. And the gorilla, they say, it doesn't have the stamina to go very long. So you'll just pummel it into submission. Just like that. I agree.
I'm glad that you agree.
Well, what do you think? I watched the zoologist talk about this.
I think if you're going to, I'm just going to use the term fight a gorilla. If you're going to fight a gorilla.
What did I say?
You were deliberately vague. I'd say if you're going to fight a gorilla, it all depends on what kind of weapon you have and the gorilla has.
No, they have no weapons. Just their hands.
Bare hands.
They're beating off the gorilla with their hands. And there is no implements being used.
Fighting. Just say fighting. Fighting a gorilla with your bare hands, it would take quite a lot of men to beat a gorilla.
Well, see, you said what I said.
I said beat.
There's 100 of them beating them.
Yeah, it's like hit, fight. But 100.
Are they all beating it to the gorilla at the same time? Or I don't understand why you're disturbed by this. This is a good argument. There's a game called Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, where you can run these kind of simulations. I'm surprised nobody has used that. 100 men, one gorilla. Who wins?
They did. It was like 1 million men and 1,000 gorillas or something like that.
Who did that? Who did it?
The simulator guys.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. So it sounds like the consensus is the men win. They will defeat the gorilla.
It would have to be 100 men fighting against a single gorilla.
I don't think you need 100.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you had,
I think 50 would beat a gorilla.
If you had men who understood, the problem is that a gorilla kills you with one hit.
Well,
and you do not kill a gorilla with one hit.
Not if it hits you in the leg.
Well, yeah, but he might just grab you by the leg and use you to kill men.
That's true. You. That was presented as a possibility actually in one of these videos. That gorilla just swinging a guy by his leg.
Yeah, because they can. Yeah. There's like when you talk to the different AI models, they talk about the weight, like the poundage of the animal and how that affects it. Mm-hmm. There's one that was like you have to choose two these groups to defend you, and the rest.
I saw that on your Twitter. Yeah, people are making their own choices. You chose correctly.
Yeah,
people don't have. I want you to break this down, but let me get out in front of this a little bit and just say people do not comprehend how numerous that number is.
Right. It was. I think it was like 10. Yeah. It was 100,000 rats.
Or even if it was 10,000.
It was like 10,000 or 100,000 rats, a
There was
hunter,
1,000 rats.
right? Like 50 eagles, and like 10 lions, 10 gorillas. There's something like that. But it's like there's no way you choose 2 to defend you, and the rest of them try to kill you.
Mm.
You have to choose the hunter because the hunter could shoot you from a distance. And
Yeah, there was a hunter with a rifle.
Yeah, a hunter with a rifle. But
Yeah.
you just choose him to get him on your side to get him out of the way. Really, it's all rats.
But here's the thing: like I wouldn't even choose him because if there was a bear on there, wasn't there a brown bear on there?
There's some lumber of bears or something.
Yeah, so I'm taking the bears and the rats. No question.
The hunter. So the reason why you have to take the hunter is because the hunter could shoot you from a distance, and you just need.
But
to
he's not going to kill the bear. Oh, he could shoot me. Oh, I see.
Right, he's trying to kill you. It's not your guys; it's just their guys. It's
if I hide
they're
behind
trying
the
to
bear.
kill you. Right. So basically, what you do is the hunter just starts picking off eagles until he runs out of ammo, and then whatever. But the rats are where it's at, because the rats are going to try to defend you, and they can overwhelm all of the other creatures and eat them. Like everything else is just snacks for the rats. Rats are fast. I don't know if you know this. Rats are stupid fast.
They're larger than people realize. They're fast.
They are.
Their jaw strength is formidable.
They jump. They can jump. I was surprised. I saw them because we live on a farm, so I've seen them. It's like I got like there was one, and it was there, and I'm like, okay, I think I.
Well, we're also both from New York. I mean, we've seen rats, right?
Well, I've never been to New York City, but
what?
Yeah, I've never been to New York City.
Oh, you missed out. You can't go now.
I don't want to go.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we were young.
Yeah, I mean, I think
and Fifth Avenue.
I think, yeah.
Christmas.
I think at some point I may have driven through it because I flew into JFK at some point, so I had to drive through it.
I saw Mike Myers walk right past me in the Village, and he looked like he was terrified out of his mind that someone was going to try to talk to him. Not the most personable celebrity.
Most celebrities are terrified out of their
mind. Nobody cared. No, I've met other celebrities in New York and seen them, and you say, "Hey, what's up?" and they're fine, you know. Like, I can't think of right now. I mean, I went to an SNL after party once. I think I told you that story, and that was odd.
Yeah,
everyone was very small except for Horatio Sands, who was more normal sized, and he was considered like a big fat guy. But TV ads, pounds,
height,
and radio removes ounces.
Sure.
But the rats, yes, you choose the rats.
The rats, yeah, because they're just no matter what else. Like you, no matter even if you had all the other things trying to save you and the rats trying to kill you, the rats just do too much. They're just too much for anyone to handle.
As long as it's on land, yeah. Although they can swim,
even for 3 days, they can swim for 3 days.
But an orca is just going to eat them in the water.
I mean, that wasn't an option, but that does change the equation slightly.
Yeah.
Well,
10,000 though. Yeah, no. I mean, nobody loves orcas more than me, but yeah, I mean, 10,000 is crazy. What's it going to do? Can't eat that many.
It's just a sheer massive amounts of rats.
It's insane. Yeah, it's insurmountable. You're not doing anything to 10,000 rats or even 1,000 rats.
Yeah.
No animal is. Now, you know, you start to even out the numbers a little bit. Okay, 100 polar bears, 1,000 rats. All right, now we're having a discussion. But
right. It was 10,000. I think it was 10. It was either 10,000 or 100,000 or something. Like, there's just such an insurmountable amount of rats that each animal would have to deal with hundreds of rats.
Yeah, because they will also just crawl on top of each other and over each other to get at you simultaneously. It's not like they have to wait in the line. Like a bear can. A bear's not going to climb on another bear's shoulders and be like, you know, chicken fight bear, or whatever they call it. But rats will do that.
I'd pay to see that though. 2 bears chicken or 4 bears chicken fighting. You know, like two. Yeah.
It depends on the kind of bear too, though. Black bear or panda bear, they're retarded. I think they're fake. I think every panda bears is a Chinese guy in the studio. I don't think they're real. They're too stupid. They are bears, though, supposedly.
Yeah,
Unlike a koala bear, which is a marsupial.
Yeah, koala's not actually a bear.
No.
No.
It's got a pouch.
But yeah, I mean, panda bears are like the worst kind of bears.
Yeah, they're the
But
worst. Yeah, they're so stupid.
God wants to.
He wants to remove them.
Well, God wants to get rid of them, and we're just like, no, we're gonna save them. Okay, so I will show this, and just because
that's an interesting thought. I want you to show what you're going to show, but that's an interesting point you make. Like, do you feel like extinction is just God saying, I'm over this? It's just, and then people are like, no, save the booby or whatever it is. What was the dodo? It's like God's like, I called it a dodo. Do you think it was going to last forever? I literally called it a dodo.
So
that dodo out. People are like, no, the dodo. Supposedly it tasted terrible. Like you couldn't eat it even. Like it was useless.
Right. It was useless. I went onto my Google AI thing and I said to create an image of bears chicken fighting, and here's what it came up with.
I can't see that. Let me make it big. Hold on.
Let's see if I can get in there and I can make it.
Oh, there we go.
That is two pairs. That's bears chicken fighting. I said grizzly bears chicken fighting, and it looks like they're fighting over chicken.
I quit. I quit the show. I quit the show. I can't take this. That's bears chicken fighting. And people are like, AI is going to take over the world. Bears chicken fighting. There you go. There's a global threat for you. Goodness.
You know, I have to work with AI every single day, and
is that right?
Yeah, I imagine just like someone who, like a mechanic who has to work with like new readers or new cars and stuff all the time, you get to learn everything wrong with them all the time. And so people come to me, or people say that, like, they'll say, oh, I think AI is going to take over. It's like, AI cannot handle it. It can't. What's going to happen is
that's what the AI wants you to think.
What's going to happen is that a lot of these big shot executives are going to lose money because you're going to have some guy being able to program a better movie in his basement than they can produce. And that's
you were talking about that the other day, making some good points too. I saw on your Twitter.
Yeah,
I liked what you said about further divisiveness, because you're right. Yeah, it used to be, and in fact, this is a documented fact that certain films are funnier when viewed in groups. Certain movies are scarier. You're having that communal experience. And now what you said was essentially that everybody's going to be making their own movies in their basement. God forbid. And so there will be no shared. There'll be even fewer shared experiences. Everyone can quote from Star Wars at this point, right? Or whatever, The Matrix. But if we remove all that, I mean, first of all, Hollywood will never let it happen for the simple fact that that's their propaganda machine.
So what I'm saying is, like, the music industry is not as big as it once was, right? Because the ability for anyone to make music and put it out there has made people who are nobodies become celebrities. And then celebrity culture itself is dying because people are just kind of sick of celebrities acting like they know better than everyone else. So, like, celebrity culture is
that
dying.
Part is good,
right? I mean, but like, people aren't watching movies anymore. What they're watching they're watching.
Well, they're
podcasts.
Garbage.
Well, yeah, movies today cost a lot of money, and they're not great.
Sorry, my daughter came in and said, "What are you doing?" She forgot I'm doing a show now.
Ghost.
I'm not letting my daughter on camera ever.
But yeah, so celebrity culture is dying, and then like, when you can make quality movies, right, without having to hire actors, then Hollywood's first going to accept it, and they're going to, like, yeah, we're going to do this because we're going to make some cool AI movies, and we're going to make them for cheap. And then someone's going to come up with the idea to be able to, you put in a prompt, maybe you put in, like, I want to see a movie that's like Lord of the Rings. Boom. And then it'll go out and it'll create it, and it'll give you like a 3-hour experience where you're just going to watch this AI movie, and it'll be mostly garbage, but as time goes on, it'll get better. And then, you'll just...
Well, Google just released that their new AI program explicitly for this. I think it's called Flow, right?
Right. It's
Is what
like,
a
yeah.
lady calls it. Period.
So,
Bad name. Not good with the names. First the Pubit, and now the Flow. But that was Amazon. Oh, no, that's Barnes and Noble. Excuse me. That was Barnes and Noble had Pubit.
Okay. So what I'm saying, like, what's going to happen is you're going to have these. You're going to just have somebody coming in, like Suno. Suno. I've used Suno before.
Suno.
I think it's Suno.ai. It creates music, right? It's AI generated music. You give it prompts.
Is that what Matt Rad uses?
I have no idea, but it's AI generated music, and it's kind of neat. And like, I was using it for a while there, and then at one point it hit me because my kids, they love the songs that I kind of randomly generate. Like, they're singing songs no one's heard of and no one will ever hear. They're going to go at some point, they're going to meet someone, and the song that, like, initially I thought this is neat because, like, we've created songs that no one has heard of before, and we've got this like shared culture of songs. Like, wait a second, no one has heard of these songs, and no one will really hear these songs.
Well, people have been doing that forever. I think we're in order for things to get where you conceive of them going, we have to remove the greater portion of Hollywood produced content, because people. I mean, I remember making movies with a VHS camcorder when I was a kid with my friends. No one else saw those, but we still went to the theater. And you have to eliminate, which they've gone a far way towards doing. That was the surprising thing about the COVID situation, was that they shut down all the theaters. They really took a hit in Hollywood. But I was surprised because, as I said previously, that's their propaganda machine. Unless they sense that the tipping point is imminent already and that all entertainment is going to become a microcosm online. It's all going to be YouTube. It's all going to be hyper personalized. Yeah. But they're, I don't know. I think the influence of celebrity is still massive. I think they would be reluctant to give that up. No, that's the flaw.
I think that celebrity is going to matter less and less as time goes on, and you're going to have, like, everyone's going to have their own celebrities. We already have that, like, within our different cultures and our different, like, microcosms. We have our own celebrities.
And well, yeah, I told you about that guy when I was growing up that would just walk around giving everybody the finger.
Yeah, he was a local celebrity.
Fingers. Yeah, local celebrity.
But like that's fine when, like, it's something that's just like a shared group of, like, your neighbors, everyone of different ideologies still understand that this person exists and that they have this kind of shared thing. The problem is that we're going to have our own ideological celebrities, and so
we do already.
Right, it's getting there. Right, it's like you have the Daily Wire and all the people on the Daily Wire that are doing their thing, and it's like that's the right wing celebrities, right?
I mean, and then, all right, I'll allow it.
I'm saying in a general sense. I know that there's
for normie purposes, sure, yeah, that's fine.
But that's even divided further. So then you have other celebrities that we're like, these are the celebrities, like, we're fractioning off, like, you know, we're turning into like smaller and smaller subsections with smaller and smaller celebrities that we elevate. And and it's like the idea that it's neat, and it has been neat to see people gather together for, like, the Super Bowl, right? And there are people who are against Super Bowl. I understand that there's a lot of reasons to be against, like, the different sports or the different ideologies, stuff like that, but still, people come together, and it's an event that we all but it's an event that we all experience together, whether you hate it or you love it. Everyone
if you hate it, knows it. I haven't watched it in decades.
But it's still a cultural topic.
I couldn't tell you when it is. I think it's in January sometime.
It's the second week of February.
See, there you go.
But it's still a cultural milestone where most of the culture takes 4 hours on that Sunday, and they watch this particular football game.
Is it most?
I think it's still. I think I know not most of the world, but a lot. Maybe not most,
Is it most of
but
America?
a good portion. I mean, it's got millions of
We have
viewers.
to look at the numbers.
Yeah, perhaps we look at the numbers, but like people get together and they watch it, and they from all different realms. They come together for 4 hours a year to have this conversation about which person can throw and run faster than another. And it's, I mean, it's like
Idiotic.
kind of the Olympics were kind of like that, but then nobody seems to care about, because we had Summer Olympics last year, and I don't remember caring
I
at
have
all
no
about
idea.
the Summer Olympics.
Well, they keep putting like gay stuff at the beginning of it. Who wants to watch that? They're alienating everybody.
Right, and so like I'm just saying that.
Meanwhile, it's historically the least gay thing. Oiled up, strong Greek men wrestling mostly naked. It's gay about that, and then for some reason they're putting their certain levels of gayness in it.
Yeah, I know. My point is that these shared cultural events are important. Like the new pope, right? Choosing a new pope was a moment. It was a shared cultural moment where the whole world watched. Even non-Catholics were watching.
I didn't watch it.
The bird, the smoke, all of it. Everyone was they had these.
I missed
it. Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Because no one's going to happen. They're sitting around,
right?
More cheesy in there, and then all of a sudden smoke comes out.
Right.
Plus, there's been mishaps in the past. Like,
sure.
But the wrong smoke.
I'm saying that there used to be a lot more of these big cultural moments, right? Like Star Wars was a big cultural moment where everyone saw it at some point in time. If you didn't see Star Wars,
I waited online. I can't tell you how many hours for tickets to the Phantom Menace, and that's time I'll never get back out of my life.
Right, but that was awful. That is a cultural story that we have, that we all waited for the Phantom Menace. We all wanted to go see it in theaters, and
I think George Lucas is a maniac.
Sure. I'm just talking about
didn't have anything to do with the original trilogy. Do you know that? He brought in like a million other people to dissect, rewrite, reshoot, direct, produce. He didn't hardly. He just said, "Hey, you know what? I got an idea."
And he made
laser swords. Yeah, well, so does Elon Musk. I've yet to see evidence of Musk's genius.
Whatever he did, it worked.
Whenever I don't know that he did it. This is what I'm saying. Whenever I see him in an interview, he seems like the least bright autist I've ever had to reckon with in my entire life.
Well, I appreciate that, because that means that you don't think I'm the least bright autist you've ever had to reckon with in your entire life.
Are you autistic?
No.
I think you're very bright and also not autistic.
I'm often confused for it because of my particular humor style and the fact that I don't care about a lot of what a lot of people think.
Well, that seems like just having common sense in the current world.
Well, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that we need these kind of cultural.
You should tell people you're autistic. You probably get on a stamp.
We need these kind of cultural milestones, cultural moments to be a united culture.
I put to you this. Should we not be united around shared morality?
We should.
Rather than entertainment.
I'm saying that you can't, that if you're going to go
if our uniting factors culturally is vapid nonsense, have we not already fallen?
Well, I mean, it should that should be good. Is the other thing, right? It should be something good, but
it's
overall, I know if you're going to go talk, if you want to go talk to your neighbor about something, it's much harder to do that. Yeah, it's harder to be able to evangelize if you have no other shared culture. Like, you can't walk over to someone and just.
No, evangelization is over. It's over. It's dead.
It's not over. It's not dead.
Yeah, it's dead. Yeah, everyone is obstinate. Everyone is obstinate. Now, whatever your position is, you're obstinate about it. You're not receptive to it. And the internet has helped to foment this.
Oh yeah, the internet's a terrible
evangelization is
place for
dead.
evangelization. Evangelization on the internet is pointless.
It's dead everywhere. Because even if you talk to a guy like face to face, and he's like, pretends like he's listening, he'll just go on the internet and be like, "I just talked to the dumbest guy. He tried to convert me to this hokey pokey."
That's
And then
you know what?
And then the other people on the internet that think like him will shore up that sentence. Like, "Yeah, you're right. Good thing you didn't listen." Like, "Yeah, I told him what for." Meanwhile, he didn't say anything.
But
so I think it's over. It's over.
The thing is, the best way, because evangelization through conversation about religion, that's not going to work. Evangelization,
you hit people with a stick, like the good old days.
I mean, evangelization through living a good life, enjoying things.
But nobody agrees on what that means. You see all the problems we're having? Because again, the internet and media are telling them whatever you like to do is good.
But there's
remember we talked about Roberta Gender. I almost said Bruce. We've had multiple conversations about Roberta Gender.
Sure.
And it is very popular.
Yeah.
And it was encouraged in doing what it did, turning from it didn't turn. We talked about this too. It always was Roberta Gender, but sometimes people used to call it Bruce. But it was told it had always been Roberta, and we got to refer to it that way. And the whole culture said, "Yes, good, this good." Pee in girls' bathroom, Roberta. You have the right.
And this is where, there's good and bad aspects, but everyone having some kind of shared cultural moment, regardless of faith or
send these people to communist China is what I say. Let them be
okay.
Roberta's over there.
I will do just that. That is the thing that I will do.
That's the good thing about communist China. They don't have a lot of gay.
Well, because they don't allow it.
It's like an entire country that is a conversion therapy camp.
It is the cross without the Christ.
And I say, if they can reduce their gay population to zero, let them eat the dogs. It's a fine trade-off.
That's what it was.
They're not going to eat my dog. I don't have a dog.
I have several.
But what do you, Stephen? What do you want? A lot of stray dogs running around, or a lot of stray gay homosexuals running around? Well, I know what I want. I don't want either. Well, they're not going to eat the gays, but they will eat the dogs, and exclude the gays from their culture. They have what's called a social credit score, and the gayer you are, the less you have a social credit. So they starve them out, I think, because you can't buy food. You can't get a membership in the Costco if you're wearing a skirt as a dude in China. So what are you going to do? You got to eat a dog. You're hungry. But the Chinese Communist Party took care of that by saying, "Oh, smarty pants gays, huh? Guess what? We're going to eat all the dogs before you can get any of them. Now what?" And then the gays just, "Oh, I'm hungry. I starve." And no more gay. It's a kind of a brilliant plan. I think that's why America doesn't like China. I was hearing about China because America is very gay. So we don't like people trampling on the gays. But we buy everything from China. They make everything.
Yeah, cheaply.
So I don't understand. Because the dollar is king, even more than gay persecution. What do you think about that? That's what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? Should they let the gays eat the dogs? Is what I'm asking.
I think it's just about time for us to wrap up.
We got 10 minutes.
Yeah, I have to go.
My best friend is Chinese. Now he's never eaten a dog, but he's not gay either. He's got a little son and a wife there, right? We grew up together. I've never seen him eat anything that was not culturally acceptable. Well, I think he ate a bug one time. But so what? One time I ate an acorn because I didn't know. So we shouldn't judge on one singular instance of somebody eating something. People eat bear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we can't be unified over what we're eating, but they can, don't they have a one up on us? I'm saying, isn't China better than America right now? And is that why we don't like them? Like when you go to China, right, and you watch you like Disney. When you watch the Disney movie over in China, they've removed all the gay. What is that noise? Is that here or there?
That's at your place.
Someone using a bandsaw? What's going on?
I mean, I'm being quiet over here, but there are several fans going right now.
No, it sounds like a saw. So what was I saying?
I have to go because I have to go get
no, I was
feed
saying,
for my cow.
they take the gay out of the Disney movies. So when you go to the theater here and you watch Tinkerbell or whatever, I don't know what you watch, Disney something.
Sure.
There's probably all kinds of. Tinkerbell's not the only fairy in it. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? But if you go to China and watch the same movie from Disney, Tinkerbell is the only fairy in it because they take all the gay stuff out. So aren't they advancing better than us? We had a gay in the government. We had a Roberta gender. It was like the health secretary until recently, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what the heck is that? You wouldn't see that in China.
I'm not sure.
So why do we hate China so much? Is it just the dogs? It's like the French, right? We went to war with the French because they eat horses. And we say a horse is a sacred thing here in America. John Wayne and all that. And when we found out the French were eating horses, we said, they got to go. And that's when we had that revolution against France.
Well, that is even remotely close to.
So maybe that's what it is with China. It's like the dog thing. Somebody knocking?
No, I don't hear any knocking.
And we were supposed to play Guess My Donkey's Birthday on this episode, but I didn't get it ready in time. So next week, we'll play Guess My Donkey's Birthday. And I don't know what. Maybe we'll continue this politically charged discussion about China and its gays and dogs.
I hope not.
Well, Stephen, somebody's got to get to the bottom of this. So if not us, who?
You know what you should do? You should have that conversation the week after next. I would agree. You ranting for an hour about dogs in China.
It's possible. Oh, I'm gonna run that interview we recorded. I think I'm gonna run that.
Oh, okay, that's probably even better.
No,
I have to go because I have to get my cow some feed.
Thank you you can get your cow some weed.
Feed.
Oh, so you're like making THC milk. Well, thank you to everybody that watched or is watching now in the future, in the year 2000. We appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, comment, give us money, send us to your grandma. Whatever you can do. We need all the help we can get. And mwah! Good night, everybody. I'm going to press the button. We're going to freeze.